Hey guys, Kendra here with something a little bit different for you. Today we're going to talk about some of my favorite games that I've been playing over the past 2 weeks, as well as a bit of history about my journey into gaming from the beginning. Stay tuned and learn about some of my past, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, as well as comment if you enjoy my content. I post new content most Saturdays at noon Eastern, but due to the holidays and it being hard to schedule interviews, I may not have a video for you every week. Before we get started, though, I would like to thank my sponsor for today's episode, Circle. Circle is hydration made easy. With over 100 different Circle cartridges, there's a flavor that is right for you. Everything from fruit punch to blue raspberry to energy drinks and even sweet tea or iced coffee, you are bound to find a flavor that fits your needs. With four bottle sizes ranging from 12 to 42 ounces, everyone can get the water they need in an easy, convenient, and great tasting way. And without creating any plastic waste from buying expensive plastic bottles from the store. Scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to learn more about my go to drink every day. For those of you that don't know, I love playing video games and have been playing since I got my first NES back in 1986. Well, actually before then, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I played a mix of console and PC games in my youth, and while I can remember a lot of those early games, none of them are as memorable as playing Wolfenstein 3D on the PC. I played the freeware version. Yes, kids, we even had free games back in the 80s and 90s without the constant need to spend money to buy stuff like today's free mobile games have. Which, in all honesty, this was the first section of the game. The game was built as seven standalone sections or levels, and the idea was to play the first level, get hooked, and then buy the other six levels to complete the game, much like you would a demo today. However, I honestly could never beat the first section of the game until it was released on console sometime later, I believe the SNES, where I rented it, played it over a weekend, or maybe it was a week, and beat the game. Over the years, I continued to get better consoles, moving from the NES to the SNES, then the Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, Xbox, and the two consoles you can see behind me, the Xbox 360, and finally the Xbox One. No, I don't have a current gen console, although if I did, it would be the Xbox Series X. In that time, I also played on the Atari 2600, which is the first system I ever played on, the PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 3. Although I never personally owned those consoles, they were either friends or family members that owned those. Okay, so now the PC rabbit hole that was my life. I remember our first PC being a Tandy that my dad bought from Radio Shack to allow my mom to keep track of his business finances and to allow him to do AutoCAD drawings on the PC. I used it for gaming such as golf, flight sim, Wolfenstein 3D, Doom, and to write some simple code using BASIC to create menus and other cool little toys that I had on the desktop, which at that time was DOS. My dad would upgrade to a new PC as time went on to allow him to continue to use AutoCAD as new versions came out, and this allowed for better games, although I don't remember those games as fondly as the early ones. PC gaming has always been my preference, and once I was given my own PC after my 14th birthday, not on my 14th birthday due to having to spend that in the hospital, which is another story for another day that I may post in the future. I started finding racing games more interesting, along with some other sports games. But the game I probably spent most of my time on that summer was Myst, and its follow up, Riven, a few years later. These two games were probably 90% of my PC gaming during high school, as the other 10% was made up of playing games such as Doom and other NASCAR games that still wish I would have kept because I love those games. I remember that I would usually get two, maybe three new games a year. So I was very picky about what I bought. But at the same time, I loved getting gifts of games and trying them out because, hey, who doesn't love a free game? Fast forward 15 years, and I took three PCs, made it into one, and have been using that same case for the past 9 years as of the time of this recording. By the end of next year, 2024, I plan to finally retire this case and move to a new case that is currently sitting behind me, and I will be building throughout the year as I purchase the new parts. In the time I've been using this current PC, it has had three major upgrades, and the games I have played have ranged from tycoon games to Starfield. I currently have 125 games in my Steam library, plus around a dozen other games that I've bought on Xbox and Epic Store for the PC. At the same time, I have about 6 to 7 games that I play on my Xbox One, and just one that I play on my Xbox 360, although currently I cannot play it due to the controller behind me not working. Now, with all that out of the way, let's go to what you clicked on the video for. The top 5 games I currently play on a regular basis and why I play each of them. Warning, there are not a lot of games from 22 or 23 on this list. However, I think you'll like what I have to say. Number 5, Starfield. The reason I'm building a new PC next year is because of Starfield. The long awaited Bethesda title was released in 2023, and while I did not buy the game when it launched, I did purchase it when it went on sale and I was able to catch a deal on it. The game is great, and while my PC struggles to play it at times, hence the new computer being built behind me, and hence why it's the only game on this list from this year, I love the openness of it, and for someone with ADD, it allows me to go off and do my own thing, but yet have a direction to go with the main quest and its side quest. Much like Fallout 4, this game I will probably never finish as I get distracted way too easily. Currently, you can see footage from shipbuilding and some exploring that I did on the lunar and Earth's surface in the game. Number 4, Madden 23. What can I say? I love football, and I didn't feel like dishing out another $70 to EA for the newest game. Plus, I moved right as the game came out, so I just kept playing last year's game as it works, and I don't feel the need to upgrade. Although I did recently purchase 24, and yeah, it runs like crap on my machine. I play 2 to 3 games a week in the game and love to challenge myself within the game by playing franchise mode exclusively and seeing just how good I can be. The game offers me a release, and I love the fact that I can record these games and put out new videos on my gaming channel, Scorpion Taz Gaming, for you to enjoy in 2024, as I have a new concept that I'm working on that will take 4 teams and show post game shows for each of their games as the season progresses. Number 3, Warframe. A game I actually got many years ago when it first released, and I think I got it at the request of someone I was playing an MMO with at the time. My girlfriend reintroduced me to the game in 2018 after major changes had happened. And since then, I have continued to play it with her and have really come to love the game. Whereas when I first played it, I never really got into it or understood the story behind it, as it was pretty much a hot mess. Now that I know the story, and with new additions constantly being added, I find a brand new love for this game. The game is simple, third person shooter that, tells a really cool story. It's all set within our solar system in an alternate timeline. And really, this is one of my go tos for playing with my girlfriend and having just time to sit back and blow shit up. Number 2, Transport Fever 2. This game reminds me of a game I used to play when I was younger called Transport Tycoon. I found several games that are built on this premise, but I think that this one is the best of those games at the moment in my library. It also has the most hours played. Overall, this is a great casual game and a great way to waste a day or two just trying to build that perfect transportation empire. Note, while recording footage for this video, there was an update to the game that improved controller support, but quite frankly, this has made many of the menus useless for keyboard and mouse players such as myself. And while there is a way to change it back to the classic interface, I find that the fact that it sets it to controller by default is a bit frustrating. The idea of the game is simple: connect towns with industry and those industries to other industries via truck, train, boat, or air. Also, passenger services are available to exploit as well within the towns. But I find moving people from town to town is easier done by rail than anything else. As you can see, this is the beginning of a game that I just started, and I'm doing farmland to a food processor. Food processor then goes to the city to be dropped off, and you make your money. Very easy game, very time consuming game because everything moves at a snail's pace, especially when you're starting off. And at number one, Farming Simulator 22. Okay, so no shock here for anyone that follows my other channel at Scorpion Taz Gaming. I love this game and I load it on a daily basis. From the mods to the ability to create a narrative for yourself or even you and your friends, this game is great and I never get tired of playing it. My goal in 2024 is actually to restart putting out content from this game on my gaming channel. So check that out when it comes along come January or February. This game allows so much diversity and gives as realistic of a experience in a simulation game that it can give. Now, there's some quirky stuff. There's some launching of bales, there's some launching of pallets, and there's some people out there making content that are not really farming, but hey, farmers are people too, and they love to have fun. So who cares if there's a Can-Am side by side in the game? Hey, most farmers I know have some kind of side by side in their garage. So there you have it, the top 5 games that I've been playing in the past 2 weeks. I want to thank you for watching this video all the way to the end, and don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. And if you're interested, I have a merch shop where you can get branded t shirts, hoodies, and drinkware from my channel. You can click the link in the description along with today's sponsor link by Circle. Until next time, I'm Kendra, and remember to keep gaming. Now, where did I put that controller so I can get back to my Madden game?